Hey everyone, this is Steven Stanzak from MarTech Wiz. The landing page tool we're going to look at today is Landingi, and this ranked #1 as the best landing page tool by the test that we recently did. We looked at over 20 different landing page tools, ended up ranking over 15 of them that were most relevant, and with a score of 8.75 out of 10, Landingi came out in front. So let's take you inside the tool and show you the features that we liked, a few that were missing, but essentially Landingi provides very impressive feature set and a great user experience and a nice price too, and those are really the three factors that got them the top place. So when you go into the dashboard, it's very intuitive. In order to create a landing page, you just click this button and this will then take you to all the templates. Now the templates themselves are very good looking. I would say definitely better than average. Not the best we've seen, but much better than average. Plus they have over 100 templates, so you're going to be able to find one in almost all cases that you can use. The newer ones seem to be better designed, and some of the older ones are a little outdated, but there's plenty of good designs here to pick from. So let's go ahead and use this one, and while that's loading we'll go through the rest of the editor. So in terms of the editor, it has it's very intuitive to use. So you have your welcome screen here, you have your list of landing pages next, and you can click on this and it gets to all the options. I'll show you that, and we'll go into this more detail later. You can set up your domains here. Your leads that are captured will be found here. A nice feature, you can add custom fonts, so it's very easy to add Google Web Fonts or another font. And then payments and your account settings are also there. So getting into the tool itself, this is, let's just take a look at the editor. As you can see, you have a lot of landscape for the template itself, so the canvas is very large. There's not a whole lot of excess in terms of toolbars on the top or on the side. You have here your undo function, layers, duplication. One nice feature is that you have tabs here, so the thank you page that you send them to after they hypothetically subscribe to your landing page, you can also edit that here and make any choices that you want. Over on the side, this is a collapsible sidebar. You have the layout here, and you have some page settings over here. So you can put in the title, the meta description, things like that for SEO, set up Facebook. For other, you can upload a custom favicon, which is not available in all of the different landing page tools, and you have some custom CMS and some other kind of lesser used settings as well there. On the left side, something I really like is just the elements. They're very clear, the buttons are very large, very clear, very easy to work with. In general, using this tool on both the back end, the dashboard, and in terms of the editor, it's just very comfortable to use. So first let's just take a look at the page that we're dealing with. So the design looks very nice, the colors, the details, very easy. As you can see, one of the main things that ranked this so highly is it's a true drag and drop operator, what we call a pixel precise drag and drop operator. So what that means is that if you move an element, you can move it anywhere on the screen without restrictions. You can overlap items, you can you have complete freedom on where you're gonna move it. The other nice part about drag and drop, about pixel precise drag and drop operators, is they almost always have an undo function, so you can go ahead and if you mess something up, start from scratch. Also, which is not always the case in landing page builders, you can easily size elements and you can easily do layers. So if you want that to come to the front, you can just use the layer button and that will do so. It's kind of hard to see because they're both red, but now you can see it. Let's go ahead and change this text color, and I want to show you the favoriting feature. So let's say we want this to be like a greenish gray. Not that this is a gray color, but and say this is the color of our brand, and we are going to use this for all the text and a lot of the buttons. We can add that as a favorite color, and you'll see it will be here, so we don't have to worry about dealing with this or dealing with hex codes. It's going to be there every time we need it. So if we highlight the text, now that will be the color we want. If we want to change this button to that color as well, we go into here and we change it to our favorite color, and that just makes things a lot easier. A nice little touch there. One thing I wish it had is better alignment features. It's got decent alignment features, but for example, some tools, when you see the guides here, but some tools, when you line something up and they're directly centered to each other, it will automatically bring up a new alignment line, which lets you know that they're correctly aligned, or if they're aligned to the left side or to the right side, it will have a line there. This you have to do it kind of manually, which is you can still do a pixel precise alignment, but it's a little bit more of a hassle. So for example, this this bullet point or whatever, it's at 57 on the x-axis. So if we want to align that, we have to do 57. Now also, some alignment tools which this doesn't have, they allow you to evenly space 3 things. So this, you're going to basically have to eye it out. Not the end of the world, but there are some better options out there for the alignments. Other nice features that I haven't seen, they have a fold line here, so you just have an idea of what's going to be above the fold in terms of the area that you can see without scrolling when you first go to the website, and what's below the fold. It's got a nice layout tool, so a lot of tools have this, but this one is much better because when you click here to click on an element, it highlights the corresponding element and vice versa. So if we click here, it will show which element that you're highlighting there. So then you can lock it, you can delete it, I believe this is hide, and do anything you need to do there. I don't use the layout tool a lot, but it's good to have. You can do a 2-step opt-in form. So right now they have in this template they have a form that's directly on the page. As you can see, a lot of people don't like to do that, and they prefer to do a 2-step opt-in. So basically what that would look like, let's just add a section. And we can easily just add a section by dragging and dropping it, picking the number of columns you want. So basically what a 2-step opt-in would be is you would have a button, and then when you click the button, it would pick up pop out a form instead of having the form kind of cluttering up your screen. It's better for design, but more importantly, it's actually been shown to be better for conversion. So if you edit the button, you'll see you can redirect it to different URLs, but more importantly, you can have they call it a callback. This is basically what I consider like a form or a lightbox form. Another great feature is you can have them download a digital asset, like a lead magnet, like an ebook. Very nice feature, so after they fill out the form, they get that, or you can just link to a different section of the page. Also, a very nice option, which surprisingly a lot of tools don't have, is they have tons of templates for pages, but very few templates for buttons. So you can, if you like a button style, you can easily choose that. And some kind of on-click Java actions here, which I've never really experimented with. But let's set this up. So we need to do the callback and save it. And now if we preview it, it will show us the pop-up. Now that's one thing, let's save it first, that is a little bit strange with this tool, is that you have to go into the dashboard to preview it, which I've never seen in any other tool. So let's go ahead and do that though. And you have to go, I think actions, and preview it. So basically you pull that up, and then when you click the button, it's going to pull up a form. And this form's pretty basic, but you can style that to be anything you like. But it's just a much better way of dealing with forms rather than a lot of cases than a form right directly on the page. They have form templates. So if we go down here and pick up a form, say we don't, say we want to have a form. This is kind of a basic, not ugly, but just extremely basic. Doesn't really look that good. But if you go into the back end or the settings, you'll see there are just all these different templates, both vertical and horizontal. Now, I've seen some better templates out there, but these are definitely much better than most out there, because most don't even offer this feature. So those are very good. Of course, you can add any different elements. You have the full range of fields that you can add, drop down, radio button, etc. Here we see the integrations. It's integrated with a ton of different things, and with HTML you can probably do a lot more. Most importantly, it's integrated with Zapier, which can hook you up to around 500 different apps just by hooking up into Zapier. I think that's Google Analytics code, and it even has some auto-responding functionality if you want to send a email directly after they fill out the form. So let's just pick one of these, save that. So now you have a nice looking form without having to do any work. In addition, it has right-click functionality. So this is something that you don't see. See, I'm just clicking the right button, and depending on where you're clicking, you can easily delete or do any other simple function. Move to top, duplicate, lock it. So that's a very nice feature and a great little touch. Of course, you can delete a section too. So you see kind of duplicate sections here. If you want to remove that, it's as simple as that, and everything will come into place. Other things that it has that are nice: icon library. This is great. I think it's almost like a must-have. They just have tons of icons, and you can add them in. They look great. They're very lightweight on the site, and it's a nice option to have. So if you want this instead of these up here, and actually these aren't icons, these are regular images. I don't know why they did that, but if you want to have an icon, you can just easily add it in like that with a lot of flexibility in terms of options. They also have exit intent pop-ups. So if you you can set that up through basically setting up a form that will load. We've all seen them when you go to hit the back button or when you go to exit out. And digital asset management is something that we mentioned before, in terms of if you're filling out a form, you can be sent a digital asset instead of just being sent to a different part of the website. Okay, some other areas for improvement. They don't have a background, a parallax effect for background image. So for example, this section, if we go ahead and change the background to an image, that's going to be fixed. Okay, so there's no way of having it to be parallax, and parallax basically does that kind of 3D design. So that's something that would be a nice feature to add, and honestly most landing pages don't have it. The biggest, alright, so let's save this, and let's before we get into publishing, let's take a look at how it looks on mobile. To do that, you just hit the viewport, add the mobile viewport, and then you'll see, we added some funky stuff in there, but everything is pretty much aligned. So this is a little bit off, but you can easily see what it will look like and make the change on mobile, and everything's there. Our form that we added is exactly where you would want it to be. Everything kind of adjusted well to the mobile screen. So that's of course good to see. Let's save this and go back to the dashboard. I want to show you a couple things there. They have a very good A/B testing suite. One, for your second variant, for the B that you're going to compare the original to, you have a couple different options here. You can copy that page. If you just want to make like a simple change, like a headline or a button color, you can do that. Or you can add a completely new landing page or an existing one that you built. So that's just a very good thing to have. In addition to that, they have some really granular settings that some others don't, but they're very simple to understand. So if you want your new copy to go to 80%, you can use a slider. I'll just do it that way. You have to change this to 20 first. Okay, so you can do something like that. You can manually decide the winner yourself, or set the criteria for them to decide a winner. So this is just a very nice A/B testing suite. And next, let's go into the publishing options. One of the biggest downsides, I would say the biggest downside, and it's not a deal breaker by any means, but so to publish it, you would just hit this button and publish it. But in terms of the publishing options, you can set up a custom domain, but you cannot. They don't have a WordPress plugin. So if you have a WordPress site, there's no easy way to just add a plugin in and then send the landing page to it that way. So what you're going to need to do to set up your custom domain is brush off your CNAME records and mess with your DNS records and just set them up. So kind of a pain, but you only need to do it once, and then it's set up completely. In terms of pricing, Landingi has great features, and all of their features are available in every plan, no matter if it's the highest plan or the starter plan. So that includes unlimited domains, unlimited users, A/B testing, visitors, landing pages, everything else we spoke about, including Zapier integration, which is often premium integration. And then with 1,000 leads, it's $29 per month. It goes up to $59 for 3,000, and then up from there. But if you buy it annually, you get a 25% discount. So basically, that comes out to, I believe, $259. I think it's under payments. Yeah, so it's $259, which is the equivalent to $21.58. So, I mean, that's a great price for a year's worth of this phenomenal tool with all the different options, and we've seen how easy it is to use. So Landingi, great user experience, great editor, packed with features. We like the pricing scheme as well, very simple. One thing we would like to see mostly is a WordPress plugin, so hopefully they can add that in the future. And a note about our ranking, this scored an 8.75, but actually two other tools, Thrive and Entrepages also scored at 8.75, but Landingi got the top spot through our tie-breaking methodology. You can't go wrong with the top four. Whether you get Landingi, Entrepages, Thrive, or our in place 4 is Instapage. So they're all phenomenal tools, and they're all very different too. So Thrive is a WordPress plugin, a different editor, more features, but a little harder to use because of the editor, in our opinion. Entrepages is probably better designed and a very nice page block system, but it's lacking on the features, but very good price. And then Instapage is a phenomenal tool, a little bit more expensive, and honestly, that's the only reason why it drops down to 4. It's very competitive. This is just one out of the more than 15 landing page tools that we reviewed, like I said, and you can go to this link here, and this will show you all of the reviews in one spot, and you can see for yourself what's the best tool for you. There's a lot of great tools out there, and while Landingi came into the #1 spot for our rankings, there's easily could be another tool that's best for you. In addition, you can download a free buying guide, which has the most important factors to consider when buying a landing page tool. So we think that would be a very helpful resource that you can get free on our website, and we hope you get some value out of that. So again, this is Stephen from MarTech Wiz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.